edition of Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawk. We are Minnesota.
Outdoor baseball on a hot, muggy summer afternoon. We love it. It's game 2 between the Twins and the Chicago Cubs. The Twins hoping to pick up a win here, win their 5th straight game at home. Dick and Bert with you from Target Field, and the reason the Twins have won 4 straight here at Target Field, they've gotten some awfully big clutch hits.
You know what, Dick? I thought last night's ball game, one of the best ball games I've seen in a long time. The way that the Twins kept coming back. They're down a run in the 9th inning. Josh Willingham, the base hit. Now Justin Morneau hit a pretty good pitch right here off of Sean Kemp. It ended up being a triple and tied the game at 7 apiece. Well, the Twins left a situation where the runner, Morneau, that Span did not score, but in the 10th inning, again, some good clutch hitting with runners at first and third. Josh Willingham with the game-winning hit. Quite a game last night for the Twins.
There's a saying, and it's true in baseball, that youth will be served, and that's the case with the Chicago Cubs. In last night's game, a very good young player and a very good guy in his senior year.
Yeah, you know what? The Chicago Cubs, they're having a frustrating year. They're looking for that one player to maybe build around, and it's probably the shortstop Castro, only 22 years old. Last night, a triple in the first inning, and then later in the ballgame, a 2-run home run. One guy that he probably looks up to is Soriano. Soriano, a mammoth home run straightaway center, and then a double mammoth one off of Glenn Perkins late in the ballgame. A big 2-run home run hit in the triple deck for Soriano. 351 career home runs. This guy's a good player.
Nice little run for the Twins at home. They're looking for their 5th straight home win here today. If they can pick up a win, they'll win their 4th straight series. We'll be back with game 2 in a moment.
Fox Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning. Great times are on deck. Grab some Buds.
The Twins, with a win today over the Chicago Cubs, can win their fourth consecutive series here on Fox Sports North at Target Field. I'm Robbie Mikowski. Thanks for tuning in. The Twins, at one point early in the season, had the worst record in all baseball, but that has really changed recently in the last 10 games. The Twins have really changed their fortunes around. And let's get a quick peek at the numbers of what the Twins have done in winning their last 3 series. They're scoring almost 5 runs a game. They're getting a ton of extra base hits. Their team ERA is spectacular, just over 3. And Matt Capps, 5 for 5 in save opportunities. He has been spectacular for the Twins down this critical run. And today, they hope to keep it going with Scott Diamond on the mound as the Twins try to win their series here at home against the Cubs. First trip the Cubs have made to Target Field. Twins going to try to do it to convert with first pitch next.
Addition, and so far he's been their most consistent player. Willingham is a true power hitter who leads the Twins in both home runs and RBIs. Along with his pop, he produces under pressure. A high drive, deep left center field.
That's a hell of a call.
Gone, and the Twins win it. His walk-off homer helped ignite this impressive Twins run, and his walk-off hit last night helped continue it. That's a fair ball, and Willingham walks off again. This afternoon, Willingham and the Twins take on the Cubs as interleague play continues next on Fox Sports North. And the Twins have won 4 straight at home, hoping to pick up their series win in Game 2. Joe Mauer back in the lineup, back behind the plate. Justin Morneau back at first base. And Josh Willingham last night in the 10th inning, not the 9th, but in the 10th, sent everybody home happy. Here's the Cubs' Menards batting order for Game 2. They've struggled to score runs, and so when they score, as they did last night, they really need to win the ball game, but they didn't. Here's Reed Johnson in the leadoff spot. Starlin Castro, David DeJesus, Alfonso Soriano, Jeff Baker at first base, Joe Mathers, Steve Clevenger, Darwin Barney, and Ian Stewart.
And on the mound this afternoon, it'll be left-handed pitcher Scott Diamond. Diamond making his 7th start of the year, looking for his 5th win. Twins are 5-1 when Scott Diamond has started since getting called up from Rochester in early May. And 5 of his 6 starts have been quality starts, meaning he's gone 6 innings or more and given up 3 earned runs or less.
The Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Willingham, Span back on the lineup in center field. Revere in right. Plouffe, Dozier, Carroll, Borno. And as we said, Mauer behind the plate. Bernard Span yesterday held out of the starting lineup because of flu symptoms. Entered the game as a pinch runner late. Feels a whole lot better today. And if there's any of the virus left in him, it'll get baked out today.
Beautiful day.
Reed Johnson to lead things off, then Castro and DeJesus against Scott Diamond. And a fastball outside.
Well, Diamond, a control pitcher, only 4 walks, 1 intentional in 38 2/3 innings. So he's going to be around the plate, changes speeds well, works both sides of the plate, has that curveball that he'll change speeds, almost like P.J. Walters did last night.
The one thing Diamond has done that Walters has struggled to do on a consistent basis, get ahead of hitters, and we've seen Walters over his last few starts fall behind ball 1, ball 2 a lot, and Diamond on a consistent basis has pitched ahead in the count. 1-1. Driven to right into the corner for a hit. And Johnson will start the game with an extra base hit. So it's a double to start the ball game.
Well, there are a lot of extra base hits in last night's ball game. 5 home runs, 4 triples, a double for a total of 30 hits. Johnson, a couple hits in yesterday's ball game, 2 singles, and he gets his 4th double of the year.
And the Cubs in last night's game got a couple of extra base hits and a couple of runs in the very first inning against P.J. Walters. Here's Starlin Castro, a home run and a triple.
Castro only 22 years old, already in his 3rd season with the Cubs.
And a one-hopper. Plouffe looks the runner back and fires across one down.
Not a good at-bat right there for Castro. That's one thing as a young kid that he's got to look for a ball out over the plate. Good pitch by Diamond.
In today's game, we're participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every home run in this game, Cubs or Twins, raises $12,000 for prostate cancer research. After 2 days of the challenge, 28 home runs have been hit, raising $308,000. And you can make a pledge by calling 800-798-CURE or 2873. Or go online to www.pcf.org. Now, the consensus was after the game that the ball was really carrying here last night. Ron Gardenhire said, in essence, today, watch out today, too, because in batting practice, the ball really was jumping. There's a bunt up the line, and that'll roll foul. DeJesus, struggling against left-handed pitchers, decides to try to drop down a bunt on the first pitch. Strike 1.
Yeah, the wind blowing out to left field is kind of a swirl here. You'll see the flags in right field kind of blow in, and then there's kind of a little jet stream. There are the flags out in left field, high left field, over that 3rd row set of bleachers. And then you see the right field kind of blowing in a little bit.
You know, a month ago when I was on the grounds crew for a day and walking around different parts of the park, you really get a sense that in different parts of the ballpark, the wind blows at times 180 degrees differently than it would maybe 100 feet away. It's really a curious phenomenon here.
Well, the stadium is kind of cupped in here, so it creates different, wind, I am sure, different wind type of channels here or there.
And what the players will tell you is what you're feeling at ground level is far different than how the wind is blowing up 50 feet or so. 2 strikes to DeJesus. He is just hitting 179 against left-handed pitching this year. He's part of the Cubs' problem against lefties.
Lefties have actually given Diamond problems. Lefties hitting 342 off of them.
Roller to the right side. 2 down, and on the second out, Johnson advances to 3rd.
Well, take a look at our GMC keys to the game. Of course, when you're in a nice winning streak, you get good 2-out hitting. Twins were able to do that in last night's ball game. Brian Dozier with a big 2-out hit, and also our GMC keys to the game for Scott Diamond. He's had a lot of success here in 3 starts. Diamond with a record of 2-0 with that 1.33 earned run average. In 20 1/3 innings coming into this ballgame, only 3 earned runs allowed here at Target Field.
Diamond to Soriano and a fastball down the middle. Whatever the Twins scouting report was before this series started, it'll be interesting to see whether it changed after last night. Glenn Perkins has got a really good breaking ball into right-handed batters, and last night Soriano was waiting for one and absolutely crushed it.
Talked a little bit about him setting himself up in that batter's box, how he kind of bends over. He's almost looking for the ball down that he can just drop the barrel of a bat and get some elevation with that baseball. So you think, okay, let's try belt high up and see how he reacts, especially middle in. Right. The ball last night that he hit off P.J. Walters about shin high, and then that slider about thigh high that he hit out of Perkins.
1-1.
See how low he gets.
Popped up, it'll reach the seats.
Even that pitch right there, good pitch, upper half of the strike zone. In last night's ball game, look at that. That ball's down, but boy, did he elevate that ball straight away center. And then the slider left about thigh high, and he crushed that 2-run home run.
1-2 to Soriano, who will see a lot of left-handed pitching for the balance of the series.
See, if I'm facing him, I want to try to get him to stand up right away because he wants to almost golf the ball.
Blocked by Mauer. 2-2.
I'm going to try a couple pitches up about letter high and see how he reacts. Now, Scott Diamond has never faced the Cubs. You know, the Cubs have never seen Scott Diamond. So it's kind of like a cat and mouse game that Diamond and Soriano are going at each other right here.
Two and two.
See if they go. See if they go up in the strike zone. I liked the second strike that Soriano fouled off. He didn't look like he was able to get down on that ball. Almost leans that left shoulder toward that pitcher.
Two and two to Soriano. Hit high to right field. Retreating is Revere. Making the catch on the track. So Soriano, who hit one to center, out yesterday. One to left, out. Nearly hit one out to right. Make it 5 in a row at home. Here's his Menards batting order for Game 2. Denard Span leading off. Ben Revere, Joe Mauer, Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, and Ryan Domas. And Trevor Plouffe, Brian Dozier, and Jamie Carroll. And
on the mound this afternoon, there'll be right-handed starter Jeff Samarza making his 12th start, his first career start against the Twins. His 17th major league start, first season in 5 years he's been a starter in the rotation, and he's doing very well. 5-3, very good ERA at 3.11. This guy appeared in 75 games last year for the Cubs, all out of the bullpen. Now he's a starter.
And as we discussed a little bit last night, that's one of the problems the Cubs are having with their bullpen. They let some guys go. They made some trades, and they took Somarju, who was kind of a fixture in their bullpen, moved him into the rotation, and they're having a hard time filling that vacuum behind him. Here's Span, and he takes ball one. Span, Revere, and Mauer. Twins, of course, have some speed they would love to utilize in the top of the lineup. At the knees, 1-1.
Well, the scouting report on Zamar's a very good athlete. He went to Notre Dame. He was All-American in football, first-team All-American in football as a wide receiver. He signed with the Cubs, went back for his senior year at Notre Dame, and had an outstanding year. But as a pitcher, good sinking fastball. He's got a split finger and a hard slider.
Northland Ford defense for the Cubs. Reed Johnson is in left. Joe Mather in center. At least that's where he'll play most of the time. He was an infielder for a while last night. David DeJesus in right. Ian Stewart, Starlin Castro, Darwin Barney, Jeff Baker at first, and Steve Clevenger behind the plate. One gone. Here's Ben Revere. Good night at the plate for Revere. And he has the average up to 326.
Yeah, both corner infields will players will play up. Baker at first and Stewart playing in on the grass at third. Take the bunt away from Ben Revere. Bunt single last night for a base hit, and then he had a sacrifice late in the ball game.
And a strike on the outside corner.
Fastball clocked at 95.
2 strikes to Revere with Mauer on deck. Cubs have a long list of issues they need to resolve before they're going to be competitive. I'm not sure that starting pitching is at the top of the list. They've got Samardzija, they've got Dempster. They're both very good.
Matt Garza.
They've had a very tough time scoring runs, playing away from Wrigley Field. Bullpen's been an issue inside 1 and 2. And here in the first inning today, they get a leadoff double. They don't execute well. They don't get the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, that was Matt Garza, their former Twin. Garza pitched on Thursday against the Brewers, so he will not pitch in this 3-game series. It will be Ryan Dempster tomorrow for the Cubs against Francisco Liriano.
Just inside, 2-2 to Revere.
Zamarza, 27 years old, 6'5", about 225 in his 5th season with the Cubs.
And now 3-2. Revere puts the ball in play. Doesn't strike out much, doesn't walk much.
Zamarza, strikeout pitcher, 71 strikeouts in 69 innings coming in with 24 walks.
Up the middle, fielded by Castro. 2 down. And Joe Mauer, who did not play at all in the Kansas City series, didn't play last night. Recovered from a sore thumb.
Well, definitely one guy you want to be playing against the National League team, because Joe Mauer, a .319 hitter in interleague play and some home runs. So Joe Mauer continue his success in interleague play here this afternoon. Good to have him back in the lineup.
And a strike. Mauer saying the thumb still gives him some pain, but he's not going to do any more damage by playing with what he has, and has a little protective guard on the that covers the, what we call it, the nook or whatever, between the notch between the thumb and the forefinger.
Well, you look at, Mauer in the lineup, you think of Stan and Revere, 2 table setters, and then you got Joe, you got Willingham, you've got Morneau and Doman. Pretty good right there, 1 through 6.
Right back to the mound, and Samardzija will have a very quick 1-2-3 first inning.
lately, the Minnesota Twins have gotten a lot of clutch performances from Josh Willingham, among others, that the Minnesota Twins has really turned their fortunes around in the last 10 games, going 8-2. And Ron Gardenhire, I asked him about that earlier, about the clutch performances that his team has gotten lately, and he attributes it to great late game at bats, Dick and Bert. Guys are getting themselves in good counts and are getting it late in games, something they weren't doing earlier in the season. Justin Morneau last night had the game-tying triple. How in the world he knocked that low pitch that far? He said he just knew he got the good part of the bat on it. But guys are getting themselves in good counts, putting themselves in good position. The guys in front of them getting on base, and the guys in the middle are knocking them in. Now, obviously, that's the way you draw it up, but it's something they weren't getting earlier in the season. So the Twins, we'll see what happens today, but certainly a nice turnaround, Dick and Bert.
Absolutely, especially nice to have clutch two-out hitting at home. Here's a rocket into the seats.
Yeah, thank you, Robbie. Yeah, you know, at home the Twins are still 10-17. You know, good clubs, you want to win at home, and that's what the Twins want to do, and continue to win series. They do that in June. Hopefully by the end of June, first part of July, they'll be back to 500. That's another short-term goal for the Twins.
I think the American League Central, at least to this point of the season, has 5 teams that all have flaws. Maybe less so the White Sox because they're the first place team, 1-1, and now 2-1. But over the course of 162 games, flaws will be revealed, and if you can address them early in the season, as the Twins hope they have, you can recover 8.5 games back, but still 11 games below 500. Busted bat. Dozier from the outfield grass throws out Jeff Baker, one away.
Another good pitch inside. He got Castro inside to hit that ground ball to third after a leadoff double into first by Reed Johnson. Another good fastball inside, and you can see not the same swing inside. Got the barrel of the bat out quickly, but hit that ground ball out. Nice play by Dozier, short.
Joe Mather, the hitter.
So working both sides of the plate. Fastball in. He'll take that changeup, sink it away, and then the curveball.
Ball one. Mather, as we said, started in center field. I was going to say he finished in left, but in reality, he finished standing on second base. They brought him in for a 5th infielder in the 9th and again the 10th. 2-0.
Yeah, the reasoning to bring that in, of course, you know, with the runner at first and third, like in the 10th inning, if the ball is hit to say short to the left and he may not be able to get that ball home, he's right there to almost turn the double play. He covered a little more ground in that infield. And Josh Willingham just beat him last night with a ball right down third base line.
One hop to Plouffe. 2 down. And before Steve Clevenger comes to the plate, July, don't miss the biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the All-Star Game, Tuesday, July 10th at 7:30 Eastern. That would be 6:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific, 5:30 Mountain Time for those of you watching on the Rocky Mountain Range.
Wow.
All on Fox.
You know your time zone.
Yes, I do. It's generally an hour later the farther east you go.
You know what? When I was a veteran player, we had some rookies on the team, and we'd go from here to Minnesota to Milwaukee. I got some of them that turned their clock up in half hour.
Oh, did you really?
Because they're closer to Eastern Standard Time. And I got about 3 or 4 of them, believe it or not. It was like 2 o'clock, and I said, no, it's 3 o'clock East, but it's actually 2:30 in Milwaukee, and they were putting their clock up a half hour. It was awesome.
And you did that only because somebody pulled that on you successfully when you were a rookie.
And I fell right. Yes, I did.
Good inning for Scott Diamond. A couple of ground balls and a strikeout.
Passed the baton.
Cubs and Minnesota Twins. Today is a big day for the Minnesota Twins hitters. They got one of the best arms in baseball, Jeff Samardzija, that they're going against. Josh Willingham, a right-hander, has had some big days himself, guys, and yesterday no bigger than the walk-off hit in the 10th. The Twins have really been on a roll, and he's been one of those guys that has really come here and performed incredibly well. But the thing to me, when you look at a guy like Willingham, he is able to get big hits in big situations, and he's been a leader of this team, kind of the quiet leader. Be a big game for him today against Samardzija, but when you look at the way the impact he's made and a couple of walk-offs he's had lately, this has been a heck of a pickup for the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, it really has. Thank you, Ron Coomer. You know what? You look at Willingham signing a 3-year contract. You have to tip your hat to Terry Ryan, the scouting department, on not only looking at Willingham of what he did last year with the Oakland A's, outstanding numbers, but also as a person.
And a base hit to left field. And the thing we need to remind our viewers of, if they have forgotten it, Willingham had a chance to win the game in the 10th only because he started the 9th inning rally. When a guy wins the game with a game-winning hit, you tend to forget that in this case, they don't even get the game tied in the 9th without his leadoff single.
Yeah, breaking ball left up right there, and Willingham hitting it sharply on the ground into left field. Twins' first hit.
So in that sense, what he did in the 9th inning was at least as important as what he did in the 10th. Here's Morneau, who tripled off the fence in center field to tie the game, scoring Willingham from first. And that was the final convincing argument that the ball was really carrying last night. Morneau, who was in his later at bat seemingly swinging at everything, swung at a pitch well off the plate, down and away.
A pitcher's pitch.
A pitcher's pitch, and he almost clubbed it out of the ballpark. Lash to left, and the 4 and 5 batters start the inning with singles.
And always nice to see Justin when he drives that ball the other way. You don't want to make a mistake into Justin, so you're going to work away. And that ball left out a little bit of the plate, but Justin, good solid swing, lining it into left field.
So a chance for the Twins here. First and second, nobody out. Domet, the designated hitter today, the catcher last night, standing in as a left-handed batter.
As a left-handed hitter, Ryan Domet hitting .272. Hit a home run in last night's ball game as a right-handed hitter, but 4 of his 6 home runs from this side of the plate.
1 strike. Fouled away. You'll notice the home run. Look where the ball was pitched.
Yeah, I mean the strength of a ball outer half of the plate, and he's able to hit it over the fence there. Again, another indication of that ball flying down the line. But that home run right there gave the Twins a 6-5 lead, but the Cubs came back and took the lead the next inning.
And Domet fights off a tough pitch to keep the at-bat alive. And just you look at that pitch and where it was and what Domet did with it, and you know, it's maybe a sign that at least this player realizes if he's going to hit home runs in this ballpark, you pretty much have to pull the ball.
But there's so much room in the gaps too for line drives, for extra base hits. We saw, Castro get the triple. You have to have a center fielder here that can cover a lot of ground.
But for a team that's desperately in search of some power, Domet taking a pitch outside or on the outside part of the plate and still pulling it over the fence.
This shows you the strength that he has right there, able to get over that ball and hit it out.
Little bouncer up the line, still 1-2. You look at Willingham and what he's done. He's pulled the ball. He's got some hits to the opposite field, but his doubles, the game-winning hit, he's a pull hitter. And it's I think a case of the Twins acknowledging that they need to adapt in terms of their roster to this ballpark that they're playing half their games in. Domet's a pull hitter. His home runs have all been pulled from either side of the plate.
Twins trying to draw first blood here in the second inning. And Clevenger will go to the mound.
Yeah, they couldn't get to exactly what Samardzija wanted to throw right there. Clevenger out to talk to him about it. This is what I would like to try.
Spazio, the pitching coach.
Even though the catcher puts down signs, as a pitcher, you're the one that has the ball in your hand. You should know what you want to do, and you shake that catcher off until you feel comfortable with the pitch. And he wanted a pitch out high and away. That's not the pitch I think he wanted to throw, but he does have a pretty good splitter. That might have been the splitter right there that just left out of the strike zone.
2-2 to Doman. Missing the inside corner. So he tried the off-speed pitch up and away and maybe tried to get Doman to lean out over the plate a little bit, and he missed with both pitches. Yeah,
the first 2 or 3 innings you want to see what that home plate umpire will give you. It's here this afternoon. It's Paul Emmel behind the plate. Will he give me more inside and will he give me more away?
Lifted to short left field, and Johnson runs near the line. Makes the catch. 1 away.
Well, you see, even on that catch right there, Johnson came in, but then he kind of had to backpedal a little bit as that ball kind of drifted on him.
So 1 gone, runners still at first and second for Plouffe.
Good pitch right there, down and away, and Doman pops it up to left field. Now watch Johnson come after this ball when the ball is hit. He's coming toward the line. He's got it right here, but then watch. He takes a couple steps back. So the ball is carrying a little bit to left field.
To the backstop, and the runners will move up. Clevenger had no chance. And a wild pitch advances Willingham to third and Morneau to second.
Samardzija with his 4th wild pitch of the year. So the Twins get a break right here. Clevenger sitting away, and that ball. So a lot of times you don't know what that ball's going to do off that backstop, that limestone, and then the padding.
I think it hit the padding or the advertising behind home plate. 1-0 to Plouffe. Now 2-0. Plouffe still hitting below 200, but it's been a rather remarkable sequence of hits for him. Here's a chopper to third. Willingham is going to come home. Plouffe is thrown out. The Twins get the first run of the game with Willingham scampering on the chopper to third.
Yeah, credit Josh Willingham getting a great jump right there. You know, a lot of times you'll freeze as a runner, but as soon as contact was made, Willingham took off. And Stewart really only had 1 play. See Stewart playing back a little bit, and you see Josh taking off. Stewart may have had a play at home, but he decides to go across the diamond. So Twins take a 1-0 lead, and for Trevor Plouffe, he gets his 14th RBI of the year.
Now Brian Dozier with Morneau at second and 2 away. Ron Gardenhire was asked today in his session with the media about Dozier and what he's noticed about some of the struggles that Dozier is experiencing. Gardy in the rookie's defense said, paraphrasing here, unless or until he sees Dozier taking his at-bats out in the field with him, he's going to continue to play. Here's a liner and a base hit. Morneau around third, and Dozier delivers an RBI single. It's 2-0.
Well, we talked about it earlier about 2-out hitting, and Dozier in last night's ballgame, a big RBI single in the 6th inning when the Twins tied the game at 5 apiece. And right here, fastball, inside-out swing. He picks up his 16th RBI as Justin Morneau scores from second base. And Dick, I think you have to realize Dozier's a rookie. You're going to have ups and downs, my goodness. But, you know, that's great hitting right there by Brian Dozier.
Well, everybody knows Dozier had kind of a tough road trip defensively. But manager working with Dozier, and Ron was a good defensive middle infielder himself in his playing days. There goes Dozier. A pitch called a strike, and Dozier is out at second base.
Oh.
And Dozier pleading his case to no avail with Jerry Meals, saying he got his hands in there. But the Twins get 3 singles in the first 2 runs of the game.
Click on to Circle Me Bert to submit an email on why your sign should be circled at an upcoming home game and have a chance to visit us up here in the booth. We'll reveal 2 sections the morning before each game. One will be listed on foxsportnorth.com and the other on kfan.com.
Do you remember your 21st birthday? You were probably like pitching to Al Kaline and backing up third base or something like that.
Well, probably, yeah. No, I might have just got a new ball.
Off the glove of Plouffe. And Darwin Barney rifles a shot into left field.
Well, they call third base a hot corner right there, and Plouffe, that ball got by him in a hurry. Barney just dropping a barrel of a bat, hitting it right past Plouffe. He put the glove up, but I think the ball's already by him.
We'll bring up Ian Stewart.
Barney getting good wood on that ball, and Plouffe reacting as he's playing in. And the ball by him.
Stewart struggling offensively, had a decent night last night. Moved down to the 9th spot in the Cub batting order. If you're a National League team and you come into American League cities to play, and you play with the designated hitter, pitchers don't hit, there's got to be some stigma attached to batting 9th, wouldn't you think? Ordinarily, that's where the pitcher hits. And so Stewart's struggling, and he comes to the ballpark yesterday, looks at the lineup card. I'm hitting 9th. That must not be going too good.
Well, I played in Pittsburgh where the pitchers did hit, and we had some very good pitchers that were upset that they were hitting 9th. Rick Rhoden was one of them. He thought he should be hitting about 6th in the lineup. But,
wasn't Rhoden the guy when he was with the Yankees and Billy Martin was his manager? I think
he pinch hit him.
He pinch hit him, but I think when he did pitch,
he put him in the lineup.
Let him hit.
Yeah, Donnie Robinson was another outstanding hitter for the Candelaria. Was good. Bibby was good. Keeson was good.
You left yourself off the list there.
I did. There's a reason why. I was a swinger.
1 and 2.
You know, we have Ron Coomer down in that camera. Well, I know it's nice and toasty down there for you, Ron, but we saw Plouffe right there, you know, playing in. It's always, I mean, that's a reaction type play, and that ball was hit sharply past Plouffe.
Yeah, that ball's smoked. And when you're playing in, you know, the one thing that he's going to learn is, as a third baseman, the farther or closer you play to the hitter, the lower you're going to get in your reaction. You got to get your glove in your hands in a position to where you're going to have to make a quick move, if for no other reason, protection. You know, you're in there close. That ball was just smoked by him, and he'll end up getting a little better feel for third base as it goes. But so far, the transition from short to third or right field to third base, he's done a pretty good job fielding and throwing the baseball.
Yeah, he really has.
2-2. I asked Ron Gardenhire today about the throws, and he said it's at shortstop. There's a pitch. I'm not sure where that was. Out of the strike zone. 2-2. Gardy said, you know, when you're short, you're all over the field making throws, and it's at third base a much more limited throwing range from where you receive the ball throwing across the diamond. When you think about it, over the course of this game, how many different throws will Brian Dozier have at short? He'll have the one in the hole. He'll probably have one behind second base. He might have to come in on a ball. At third base, you know, the ball's hit to you. You just react, hopefully get your feet under you and throw it across. 2-2, and a bouncer up the line foul.
Dick, and to your point, when you're playing third base, I'm about to get a ball thrown right over my head. Very nice. But when you're at third base, that's the big key. Third base is a catch position like first. The ball's usually hit hard enough to where you just got to catch the ball. Then, more times than not, you have time to set your feet, get your shoulders square to where you're throwing, and make a good quality throw. Very, very different timing mechanism for the infielder than the shortstop position.
Strikeout of Stewart, one away.
A good strikeout right there by Diamond. Looked like he added a little extra and picked up his second strikeout.
You can get involved in our broadcast. Vote for the Arby's Value Player of the Game. Text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234-234. Scott Diamond becoming a fan favorite, not just based on our voting today, but starting to hear people wonder about his next start. And I'd like to go catch a Twins game. When is Scott Diamond going to pitch next? He right now is scheduled to pitch next Thursday night against the Phillies, and I was just kind of hoping it would happen. It won't, it doesn't look like, but I was kind of hoping he might match up against Cliff Lee, since his delivery is similar to Lee's. But Lee is pitching tomorrow for the Phillies and probably won't pitch in the Twin Series at all. Standing at the plate, Johnson takes ball one.
Yeah, and how we compare him to Cliff Lee is because he's pretty much straight over the top. Like Lee, excellent control, doesn't walk a lot of guys, changes speeds well.
Hasn't had the success that Lee has had. We're not trying to compare pitching abilities.
No, we're talking more delivery and how they look.
1-0 to Reed Johnson.
You know, in last night's ball game, Willingham, I believe it was in the ninth inning when he hit that liner off that base of the wall that had all that top spin. I said, well, that reminded me of Harmon Killebrew, because Harmon's, you know, hit that way. And I know I got a tweet today say, shouldn't compare Willingham to Harmon Killebrew, and I'm not, you know, in that sense, other than Harmon hit the ball so darn hard. He had so many times his ball looked like it was going to go out, but he had so much top spinner it stayed in the ballpark.
1-1 to Johnson.
One thing I found about Tweeter, you can't please everybody.
Johnson doubled into the right field corner his first time up, but the Cubs left him at third base. Down and away, and it's 2-1.
Johnson in his 10th major league season, a .282 career hitter coming into this year. Last year had a very solid year for the Cubs, hit .309. Not a home run hitter. There's a Twin fan and a Cub fan sitting side by side, two Hall of Famers, Dean Sandberg.
Into center field, a base hit. Barney will go to second and hold up there. So first and second, one away. for Starlin Castro. At every Twins game, businesses of all sizes host their employees and clients for a fun night of baseball. You can take advantage of all that Target Field has to offer your business group. An inexpensive and simple way to entertain in a setting your employees and clients will be sure to enjoy. Organize your group of more than 25 today by calling 833-TWINS and ask about a Twins Target Field group outing. All right, another chance for the Cubs. First and second, one out. Castro at the plate. He grounded out on one hop on one pitch to Trevor Plouffe, leaving Johnson at second base after his double. Ball one. Teams, I think, far too early are put into buying or selling mode based on their performance in the first 2 months, sometimes even just 1 month into the season. Strike. And so the Cubs have struggled. And they're 13 and a half games out. And so teams figure they'll be sellers. And so pretty much everybody's up for grabs, according to people who write about such things, including, by one report, Castro. And my goodness, what wisdom would there be in the Cubs trading Castro? He's the type of player they hope to build around.
Right. Again, this young man, 22 years old, from the Dominican Republic, and last year, in 158 ball games, he hit .307.
1-1 to Castro. And time call. And Diamond doing the right thing in situations like that, continue to follow through. There was a pitcher we came across over the last week who tried to alter his delivery, and he pulled his oblique after time had been called at the plate. I'm trying to remember who it is now.
I always looked at it when the hitter did that and the umpire called time. You could throw the pitch home and you could actually drill the hitter, and it's a no pitch. It's awesome. No, but I thought about it many times.
That would incite a bench clearing brawl.
That's okay.
That's okay?
Nothing but air.
2-1 to Castro. Diamond's done a lot of things right, including getting ground ball double plays. 6 prior starts, and he's gotten 8 of those.
Castro hit into 2 double plays in last night's ball game.
Diamond and Castro are just playing a little cat and mouse game here. And time called again.
That home plate umpire shouldn't allow that.
That's twice in this at bat.
That's up to the home plate umpire. Even though the hitter calls time, Diamond was in that set position, ready to throw home. The home plate umpire cannot allow him to call time like that. Diamond looking at the runner. He asked for time, but I would think when that pitcher comes set that hitter doesn't. They want to speed up the game. Can't allow him to call time like that. Umpire should not give it to him.
2-1. 2-2. We're only 4 pitches into this at bat, and it seems like Castro's been at the plate for 5 minutes. Couple of runners aboard with 1 out here in the Cub third. And the fans will love it. 2 down.
Good fastball inside. And Castro swinging through it. So second strikeout of the inning for Diamond.
2 down, 2 on, and here's David DeJesus. DeJesus with a bouncer to second his first time up. breaking ball over.
40 pitches, 27 for strikes for Scott Diamond.
You know, I talked to Scott the other day. I said, you know, it's fun to watch you pitch. And what I meant by that was when you have a pitcher out there who can throw 3 or more pitches for strikes, he's unpredictable. No one knows what pitch he's going to throw here on 0-1. And it's fouled into the photographer's area. It's fun to watch because A, the game moves along. He's throwing strikes. You don't know what pitch is going to come next. And because of all of that, you tend to not face too many batters in an inning.
Shades of Johan Santana, Brad Radke, all the aces for the team. When you can go out there and just be aggressive. Again, the Twins have won 5 of the 6 games that Scott Diamond has started. And Pavano's that way when he's, you know, healthy and in a groove. Doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. And
wow.
Strike 3.
And Diamond, who doesn't show much emotion, shows some there. I think he too was a little frustrated with what happened in the Castro at bat.
Joined by Ricky Rubio, point guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves, watching just his second ever baseball game in person. Ricky, you didn't grow up with baseball in Spain. Watching baseball, what's it like now watching it in person for you?
It's fun. It's a good experience. I came here like a month ago with the team. Kevin Love invited us, and I pretty like it. It's a sunny day, so we're enjoying a lot. And we don't watch baseball back there in Spain, but here I'm getting used to watch a lot of baseball on TV, and Twins are doing pretty well tonight.
Yep, they're doing well, and then, of course, in their last 10 games, playing well. Now, Ricky, it was a devastating knee injury that you suffered, and it really hurt the Timberwolves' chances this season. But how's the knee doing, and how's your rehab coming along?
Doing good. It's been a long process because I was like 6 weeks with crutches, but now I'm walking again. I'm feeling like a normal person again, and I'm feeling much better. I'm working hard to be back next season.
Good luck to you, Ricky. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Dick and Bert.
All right, thank you very much. We hope Ricky Rubio and the Timberwolves are healthy and
sure do.
Doing well next year. 2-1 to Jamie Carroll. It'll be Span and Revere to follow here in the Twins' third. Up high, 3-1. Did you catch any or the end of the 6-pitcher no-hitter last night?
No, I did not. Milton against the Seattle Mariners no-hit the Dodgers. No, I did not.
Swing and a miss, 3-2. Kevin Millwood went 6 innings. And and then suffered a groin injury. They're hopeful now today that he won't go on the disabled list in Seattle. And then 5 other pitchers finished it off. I honestly didn't know how. I watched the end of it. Didn't know how significant of an event it was that I was watching. I know it's only been done 9 other times in baseball history, but I just was kind of puzzled why the catcher would jump into the arms of a relief pitcher who was only out there for the last 3 outs. Called 3rd strike. Carroll's gone on strike. I talked with Joe Mauer about that today. He said, you know, for a catcher, it really didn't make any difference. You caught a no-hitter regardless of how many pitchers pitch in it. I guess that makes sense.
Right. I think a lot of times, you know, I was fortunate enough to have 60 shutouts, and you know what, Dick? I think my catcher took as much pride in me pitching that shutout or a no-hitter that I had as far as what I was able to accomplish, too, because you're a team. You work together. Now, you know, the catcher for the Mariners, he had to catch 6 different pitchers to pitch that no-hitter, but he put down the right signs. One night, it's like it's a beautiful night.
Span
if everything works, goes your way.
One strike to Span. He had a ground ball to second his first time up. And now 2 strikes.
You know, I saw Sal Butera. Sal Butera called a great game. He's an excellent receiver. And I know, you know, when you pitch a good ball game with him behind the plate, he took as much pride in winning as a catcher. And you become that team, that tandem that did it together, not just a pitcher. It was your best friend that day. That's the catcher.
Joe Mauer also said, you know, for the bullpen it would be a big deal because no one wants to give up that first hit.
Right.
And the 5 pitchers that followed Millwood.
I was there when Mark Langston pitched 6 innings. It was earlier in the season, and on a pitch count. And Mike Witt pitched the last 3 innings for a combined no-hitter.
2 gone. Let's take you to Seattle for the last out.
Now the Mariners trying to get it done with 6 different pitchers. On the ground, second baseman Ackley. That'll do it. The Mariners have no-hit the Dodgers.
And there's Jesus Montero jumping into the arms of Will Holmson and drive to center, and Revere retired. It's just kind of a curious phenomenon. They got a shot of the Seattle dugout, and Eric Wedge and Carl Willis didn't quite know how to react.
Lead over the Chicago Cubs. Last night, late in the ball game, you see Alfonso Soriano hit a ball into the third deck in target field, and you see the stance and the swing of Soriano. Bert, you guys have talked about it earlier in the show that he likes the ball down. The one thing about Soriano, when you stand or have a stance where you're crouched like that, you end up using the large muscles in your legs and back, and you're very strong. The one thing about Soriano, we know he's strong. He hit the ball into the third deck yesterday, but he's very susceptible to off-speed pitches. The one thing Twins pitchers will try to do today is speed him up inside and then try to get him out with soft stuff and get him out in front. I played with him in New York, and he was a young player in the league. He swung the biggest bat on our team. He's about 170 pounds, and he swings a 35-inch, 34 to 35-ounce bat.
Yeah, heavy bat in the game of baseball. But you know what, Ron? You see a lot of hitters. It seems like everybody, when a young kid comes up, they say, you look. I think of Jose Bautista, an open stance, but Soriano, he kind of puts that foot in front toward the pitcher where he doesn't open up. He has a completely different stance, and then he lifts that leg up like that. But nice play by Carroll right there for the first out.
Yeah, and the thing right there is that leg kick goes up and down real fast, and with that you get some head movement, and that's why he's so susceptible to off-speed pitches. You see his stance right there. He's way out in front, his front foot way out, almost out of the box when he makes his stride going down. Most hitters are about a foot deeper in the box than that, and that's all because of him being susceptible to soft stuff.
Well, when you lay one in there, he can hit a long way. We witnessed that last night. Another good fastball in, and that one hit softly over the head of Carroll into right field. Jeff Baker picking up his first hit, the fourth hit off of Diamond.
So Diamond on back-to-back pitches has gotten the ball in on the trademark of the Cub hitters. A little pop-up to Carroll, a little flare for a single, and now Joe Mather.
That just shows, with Soriano, 351 home runs, everybody has a different batting stance. You can't always say, well, you have to stand this way to be a good hitter. It's how you feel comfortable in that box.
Well, we were in Kansas City, and Ron and I were talking about Eric Hosmer and how he's trying to eliminate his leg kick, trying to simplify things. But then in Twins history, the greatest transformation maybe of any hitter in Twins history was Kirby Puckett, who went from a singles hitter to a power hitter because of, in part, the leg kick, which got his weight behind his swing, back leg to front leg. Mather with a bouncer to third his first time up. Fouled back. Diamond with 48 pitches, 34 strikes. Double play grounders are always nice, but on a hot, muggy day like today, Diamond, or for that matter, Samardzija, would really appreciate getting some ground ball double plays inside 1-1.
Well, Mather in his first season with the Cubs, 29 years old. He came up with the Cardinals, also spent last year with the Braves. Not much of an offensive hitter, pretty good defensive outfielder, just a .228 hitter coming into this year.
1-2.
.50 pitches for Scott Diamond, 35 strikes, no walks, 4 punch-outs.
I mentioned that I told Scott I enjoy watching him pitch. Well, you're a Hall of Fame pitcher. What type of pitcher do you enjoy watching? Somebody like Diamond, or somebody like, a power pitcher that there's a fly ball to center field? It looks like Span will make the play.
I love watching anybody that attacks the strike zone, that works quick. I grew up watching Bob Gibson pitch.
Right.
Every time he was on TV, as when I really wanted to have a dream of playing Major League Baseball, I watched Koufax. I watched, all the great pitchers. What did they do to be successful? And all those guys work quick. Not too many times, they were kind of walking around the mound. They threw that baseball, and it was like a hot potato.
But the ones you mentioned are also power pitchers, strikeout pitchers.
Aggressive in the strike zone. Strikeouts come because you get ahead in the count. That's the big thing.
Here's Clevenger. And Giovanni Soto on the disabled list with a knee problem. They hope to get him back in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, well, what I mean by that is, strikeout pitchers are guys that, Nolan Ryan, I'm sorry, he was a freak of nature. Not too many guys can pitch as hard and as long as he did and strike out over 5,700 batters. But most strikeout guys are guys that get ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strike, and then you put the hitter on the defense. And for me, it was my curveball. For other guys like Ferguson Jenkins had over 3,000 strikeouts, or Gibson, it was that nasty slider or the good changeup.
Well, Diamond has 4 strikeouts, and now he's got Clevenger in that 1-2 count.
Right.
Season high 6 strikeouts for Diamond in his 2012 debut. Runner goes, and the pitch dribbled left side. Going to be a tough play. Barehanded by Plouffe.
What a nice
got him. Trevor Plouffe with a great play to end the inning. On Fox Sports North is brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. Hot and steamy at Target Field, and here's a wide-angle view of Target Field from our GoPro shot. Dick and Bert with you. Robbie and Smikowski, Ron Coomer. We've got a whole bunch of baseball to give you on this homestand. 3 games with the Cubs, 3 with the Phillies, 3 with the Brewers. Here's Mauer to start the Twins 4. Ball 1. Mauer, Willingham, and Morneau. Cubs actually out hitting the Twins 4-3, but the Twins got 3 singles and a couple of runs in the second inning. 1-1.
Zamarza with 46 pitches, 31 strikes, no walks, 1 strikeout so far. Just that second inning that Willingham and Morneau start off with base hits and later scored.
Fisted foul. 1-2. You look at the Twins lineup, Bert, with Span, who right now has seen his batting average dip below 300, but we expect a good game or 2 in this homestand, and by the end of the homestand, the way he's hit here, he'll have his average back up by 300. There's a drive down into the left field corner. Mauer has a hit, cut off by Johnson. Mauer digging for second. He'll hold up for first, and a good thing because Johnson from the deep left field corner threw a strike to Barney.
Yeah, very nice defensive play by Reed Johnson, getting over there quickly and holding Mauer to a base hit. Remember in last night's ball game, Ryan Domet hit a ball over to David DeJesus out in right field, and DeJesus made a play almost like this, and Domet was thrown out at second base, but nice defensive play by Johnson.
I know
perfect throw.
I know it'll never happen, but I wish the highlight shows would highlight fielding plays like that instead of just plays that record outs, because that might turn out to be an awfully key play by Johnson in this ball game. Willingham lifts it high and deep to center, but Mather has it measured. Actually, not that deep at all, and Mather had to come in on the ball. One away.
Now, up in here in the booth, we have Michelle, who is celebrating her 21st birthday. So happy birthday to you. Both you and your sister are here. And I understand you brought Circle Me bird signs over the last 3 or 4 years now. You are in the booth. Happy birthday. And you're 21 now. No alcohol tonight. No. Not allowed to do that. Welcome.
Here's Morneau.
Happy birthday.
Singled and scored his first time up.
Danielle, her sister, enjoying the ball game here.
Outside, ball one. Willingham and Morneau single to start the inning. And both came around to score in the second inning. And a strike on the outside corner. Fox Tracks brought to you by Window Concepts of Minnesota.
Kind of a backdoor slider, a little bit outside, but Paul Emmel said it was a strike. Home plate umpire.
Fouled back. And it's 1-2.
Now, what we have seen, both Diamond and Samardzija throwing some pitches inside that's not getting called, so maybe Emmel, an umpire, that'll give you more away.
Morneau a little frustrated. He didn't smash that ball. Got a fastball and fouled it back. 1-2. Now inside 2-2. Mauer at first with one away. Chance the Twins might send him, although Morneau's been strikeout prone.
Yeah, Jeff Samardzija, again, a strikeout pitcher. 71 strikeouts coming into this ball game in 69 innings. Has only one so far in this ball game. He's only given up 5 home runs in 11 starts.
Mauer stayed put, and Morneau flipped it foul. Three and two. Mauer goes, and this one popped up to short left. Johnson running to the line, and that ball is just foul. Johnson looked like he might have jammed a wrist in diving for the ball. Castro couldn't get there. Neither, for that matter, could Stewart. And the ball dropped just across the line.
Well, you see the divot being replaced by Ian Stewart right there. Well, watch his knee right here.
Yeah.
He did a Kent Herbeck. Herbeck did this in the Old Timers game. Ouch. Wow. Boy, you got to be careful right there.
So Mauer didn't go on the first 3-2 pitch. He did go on the foul pop. And we'll see what happens here on this 3-2 pitch. Dives back to the bag.
Mauer has 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts.
Mauer goes to center. Hanging in the air for no, it's going to drop in front of Mather, and Mauer got a good read and advanced to third base.
Good base running right there by Joe Mauer, because if this ball is caught, he's probably out at first anyway, because he's already almost at second base. You know, as a base runner, what you want to do is see where the outfielders are, and of course with Justin up, the outfielder's playing pretty deep. Now watch Joe right here take off. See that ball? I mean, if that ball's caught by Mather right there. Joe's out at first, so just keep going. And it worked out for the Twins. Justin gets his second hit. Runners at the corners. 1 out.
Here's Doman, a fly ball to left, his first time up. The Twins with a couple of hits in the fourth, threatening to expand their lead. Foul and out of play.
Doman third on the club in runs driven in with 28. I'd like to add another one to those numbers right here.
One strike to Doman. Off the glove of Baker down the line. Mauer scores. Morneau to third. Doman to second. And it's 3-0. A wicked shot. Baker got leather on it, but couldn't catch it.
Well, you need some breaks to go your way. Doman hit this ball on a line, and Baker reaching to his left. See him jump off that bag while he's holding a runner on, and that ball just ticks off his glove. And Mauer has to wait. He scores the third run for the Twins, and Doman does pick up his 29th RBI on his 7th double.
Plouffe, the batter, he drove in a run with a ground ball in the second. It'll be tougher to do that now because the Cubs have brought the infield in. Morneau at third, Doman at second. Plouffe takes one up and in, ball one. When Plouffe was up before, we were talking about how, yeah, it's a sub 200 batting average, but it's been a really productive season in terms of runs batted in, extra base hits.
Extra base hits, right.
Lifted foul and out of play. On the season, Plouffe has 24 hits, but more than half of them, 13 of them, have been either a double or a home run.
Yeah, 5 doubles, 8 home runs. And by my California math, 8 plus 5 is what? 13.
That's more than half. To center. Mather going back. That's over his head. It's a ground rule double. Another extra base hit for Plouffe. 2 more runs score, and it's 5-0.
Well, I think we saw here at Target Field that wind kind of take that, because Mather can cover some ground. I think he thought he had this ball and it just kept drifting on him. So Plouffe gave it a ride over the head of Mather in center field. Fastball right there. And Mather going back. It looked like it was going to be a sacrifice fly, but the ball just kept going and bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. So Plouffe picking up his 3rd RBI of the 3 RBIs now in the ball game on his 6th double.
That fastball on the inner half of the plate, particularly if it's elevated at all, is such a dangerous pitch to throw to Plouffe right now. We've seen him blast home runs and doubles with that pitch. Here's Dozier taking inside, ball one. So if you want to label that right now in his career a mistake pitch to Trevor Plouffe, well then credit the hitter for taking advantage of the mistake pitch and doing something with it.
Right.
How many times have we seen him turn on this ball and hit it into the seats?
Yeah, fastball. You can see middle in, and he likes that pitch inner half. He can just drop the barrel of a bat, and boy, he has a line drive ground rule double.
1-1 to Dozier.
Hit that ball a long way. That's over 400 feet straightaway center.
And up high, 2-1. So the Twins concentrating their hits. Hitless in the first inning and third, but they bunched 3 hits together for a couple of runs in the second. 4 hits and 3 runs so far here in the fourth. Castro from the outfield grass. And a low throw. And Baker does a nice job digging it out.
I think that's the play right there that Dale Swain would like to see him wind up and make a better throw to first.
You can ask a question at carsoup.com/baseball. Maurice Tyner of Chaska wondering what do the umpires do with all the baseballs that go in the dirt and have to get thrown out.
It's called recycle. A lot of them will go into the Twins dugout. Of course, the home team supplies the baseballs. And they're rubbed up before each ball game. Baseball game will go between, they'll sometimes go between 12 dozen and 14 dozen baseballs in a ball game.
We'll see if Samardzija can throw one in the dirt here. We'll follow the ball and see what happens to it. 1 strike to Carroll.
We'll see it sometimes the next day for batting practice, early hitting, those baseballs that were used in the ball game.
Had an umpire tell me that what many umpires do when a ball is thrown in the dirt and then the catcher hands it to the umpire, he won't put it back in the ball bag, but he will look at it and toss it overhand to the ball boy if he wants it out of circulation, or toss it underhand if, we'll reuse this one because it's not scuffed up that much. Get it out of the game at that point, and then the ball boy, maybe an inning or so later, will bring back some baseballs, and one of them might very well be the baseball.
That'll be scuffed?
Not enough to where it would affect the flight of the ball. Don't get excited. Inside, 3-1. But if it's just nicked a little bit or not at all, you're not supposed to put it back in the ball bag, but that doesn't mean that ball won't come back into play later in the game.
Well, after the ball game, I go down and get some of those baseballs and we use them in the instructional. And then I give them the fans. Kind of cool.
Bouncer foul. So this is a green ballpark, and it goes, along with the baseballs. We recycle the baseball.
Yes. Well, sometimes they're shipped down to the minor leagues too. Clubs will send some of the balls down to the minor leagues, so the minor leaguers can take batting practice with the baseballs. It used to be in the minor leagues. Wilson balls were in the minor leagues. Rawling balls at the major league level. But Jim Hughes and I actually went to Arizona. We talked to the minor leaguers because organization Major League Baseball, and actually he helped get Rawlings balls now also in the minor leagues, because Wilson balls seams were a little bit higher, and pitchers would go down on rehab and they'd get blisters because of the higher seams of the minor league balls. So now Rawlings has complete control of all the baseballs in baseball, even in the minor leagues.
Professional baseball.
Professional baseball, yes.
All right, there's a pitch in the dirt, and now the home plate umpire, Paul Emmel, threw it overhand to the ball boy.
And Ben Revere has it. He'll throw it up in his
stance. He's going to rub it up.
And he's going to give it to a fan, see?
Well, there's your answer. The fans end
up. So that ball will end up on a mantle somewhere, or maybe in a playground. Chris Bosio, a quick trip to the mound. Pitching coach here for Dale Schwain.
Span will be the 8th man to bat here in the 4th inning.
First walk of the ball game.
Diamond's been in control, and he's scattered a few hits, including a leadoff double in the first inning. Samardzija's seen the Twins again bunch their hits together.
Yeah, and that's what you want to stay away from if you're a starting pitcher. Samardzija 3 2/3 innings, given up 5 runs, all earned, and Scott Diamond 4 very good innings, only allowed 4 hits so far. Stay away from that multi-run inning if you can.
Twins got 2 in the second, 3 so far here in the 4th. Span up with runners on the corners and 2 away. Under the glove of Baker, another run will score. Span digs for second. He's got an RBI double, and Carroll almost waved home by Steve Little. So the Twins wear it out. Jeff Baker at first base, a couple of doubles past the first baseman.
Yeah, both times Baker holding on the runner and then flipping off the bag when the pitch is delivered home. Remember, he had to go against Domit. He had to go to his left. Here, this way, he has to go to his right. And the ball scooting past him. So Span with a double, his 15th double of the year, driving in his 13th run.
Revere at the plate, activity in the Cub bullpen. Revere 0 for 2. The Twins enjoying now a 6-0 lead. Over for a strike.
Casey Coleman starting to get loose. son of former pitcher Joe Coleman,
who was the son of a former major leaguer himself.
Yep.
Joe Coleman.
Joe Coleman.
So if you're going to break the chain of Joe Colemans in professional baseball, Casey's a pretty good name to go with. 2 strikes to Revere, and now outside.
Well, Michelle, on her 21st birthday, she brought us some luck up here. 4 runs for the Twins so far in this inning.
1-2 to Revere. Little number, and that's going to be a tough play. Barney has to hurry, not in time. An infield hit for Revere, another run score.
And Revere picking up an RBI, his 4th of the year. As Jamie Carroll scores the 5th run of the inning.
And that'll be the end of the day for Samardzija.
He knew as soon as that ball got past the pitcher, Ben Revere has an infield base hit with his speed. And Baker has really no chance. Excuse me, Barney has no chance to get Revere.
6 hits and a walk, and so far 5 runs for the Twins. Pitching change next. The ultimate online experience for fans. You can log on to take part in the most interactive forum during Twins games. Stats, trends, exclusive analysis, and live Twitter feeds. It's Fox Sports Game Connect, now available on foxsportsnorth.com. An early shower for Jeff Samardzija as the Twins send at least 10 men to the plate here. And the 10th batter will face Casey Coleman.
Yeah, Casey Coleman the last couple of years used as a starter by the Cubs. Now he's in the bullpen. Started the season down in the minor leagues. Iowa, the AAA affiliate, called up on May 12th. Coleman making his 11th relief appearance. Only 3 walks in 13 innings with 8 strikeouts.
Bauer started this so far 5-run inning with a single to left field. Been 5 other hits, a walk. First and third here, and the Twins leading 7-0. Over for a strike.
Yeah, changeup right there. Coleman has a changeup, a curveball, and a fastball, not overpowering.
A lot of speed on the bases for the Twins. 7-0 lead. Would it be against the unwritten rules to send Revere here in the 4th inning? 1-1.
That's that fine line right here. No, if Ben gets a good jump, he should go. Maybe in the 6th inning it's a little different, but here it's still, 4th inning. They still have 5 more at bats. You can take that base, go ahead and try to steal it.
Coleman pitching Mauer away, missing again, 2-1.
And Baker holding him on too. So, you know, I mean, there's a sign right there. If Baker's playing behind him, then it's different. But the Cubs still not out of this ballgame, even now though they're down 7-0. They still have 5 at-bats left in this ballgame.
Driven hard to left field. And off the wall. Span scores. And the throw to second base. Mauer's second hit of the inning, and they've both been scalded.
An RBI double for Joe Mauer, and this beautiful inning for the Twins continues. Mauer picking up his second hit of the inning, his 26th RBI of the year, as Span scores.
So Mauer jumps back into the lineup and picks up 2 solid hits in his first game back. About halfway up the wall. By the way, I found out today those are new flowers planted at Target Field. I bet you didn't notice that, did you?
No, I did not.
They used to have pansies here, and they've taken the pansies out and replaced them with geraniums.
You learned that from on the ground crew?
Yeah, Al from the grounds crew told me that.
Now, does the ground crew plant those?
Yes,
Oh,
Al, that's Al's big project.
Okay, well, he does a great job.
1-0 to Willingham. Breaking ball down and away, gets a swing and a miss. Twins with a great inning here. 6 runs so far, an 8-0 lead. And a couple of runners in scoring position for Willingham. Willingham gets a fastball and swings through it.
Yeah, fastball at 92 miles an hour. We mentioned Coleman, a third-generation pitcher at the major league level. His dad, Joe Coleman, pitched 15 seasons in the major leagues. Now a pitching coach for the Florida Marlins in their minor league system.
He's been a major league pitching coach for a couple of clubs.
Yeah, he was a coach of mine in Anaheim with the Angels.
2-2.
He and Marcel Latchman kind of combined, being pitching coaches with the Angels. And then his grandfather, also named Joe, spent 10 years in the major leagues. So good genes.
And Willingham strikes out to end the inning. But a really good inning for the Twins. They score 6 times and now lead it 8-0. nail-biter last night. Now the Twins have a little breathing room here in the middle innings. And Scott Diamond will take it. It's Smokowski, Ron Coomer, Bert Blyleven, Dick Bramer with the Twins in front now 8-0.
Yeah, for Scott Diamond, that's 6 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, a season high for the Twins by scoring 6 runs in 1 inning. They had scored 5 a couple times earlier this year, but Diamond in an 8-0 lead. As a pitcher, you still think it's a 0-0 ball game, and go about your business. Keep putting zeros on the board, Scott Diamond.
Barney, the hitter. Down and away, ball 1. It'll be Barney, Stewart, and Johnson in the Cub 5th inning.
17th batter that Diamond has faced, and he's only fallen behind on 5 of the 17.
The left center field, and Willingham over in the gap makes the catch, 1 away. Sanford Health injury report. St. Louis Cardinals 3 games back, just over 500. And Jaime Garcia is going to be out for a while. Well, you never know about that shoulder. Remember all the problems Jesse Crane had. Essentially the same injury. He had a cuff problem and a labrum problem. And the Cardinals in the middle of things in the National League Central. I'll tell you, the Pirates are just a fun team to watch. Clint Hurdle's done such a great job. I'm looking forward to seeing them for a few ball games. They're not scoring many runs at all, but they're playing good baseball and they're getting good pitching. This one lifted down the left field line. It's in the seats. 2 strikes.
There's a lot of things that come in a quality start, and that's one thing that Diamond has been able to do. 5 of his 6 starts have been quality starts, and get strike 1. 13 of 18 first pitch strikes.
This will be his 60th pitch of the afternoon. And it's nubbed off the end of the bat.
Well, he's coming off that start in Cleveland in his last start where he pitched 7 shutout innings, only gave up 3 runs.
He's done that 3 times.
3 times, right.
2 strikes. Just off the corner.
What you see from Diamond is a little add and subtract, almost like Pavano, but at a little higher speed. You know, he's had a couple strikeouts already in this ballgame where he seems like he'll maybe add a mile an hour or 2 extra on that fastball. Then he'll throw that changeup, the curveball, fastball inside, just missing. Locked at 90.
See what you just said. There's another reason that I really enjoy watching this guy pitch, because I think he throws the ball closer to where he wants to throw it than anybody on the Twin staff at the speed he wants to. That one whistled up the middle, a base hit. So Stewart gets a base hit with 1 out in the 5th. And that'll bring up Reed Johnson.
Well, he tried to go in with the previous pitch and then goes back in again, but this one a little bit too much of the plate. You saw where Maurer was sitting, ball left out over the plate and lined in the center field.
I just jinxed him. They set up in the inside corner. The pitch drifted out over the outside corner. Here's Johnson. He has 2 of the 5 Cub hits against Scott Diamond.
I don't think up here we jinx anybody. We just call the game.
You don't think
no.
that we can control what happens out there?
That's like a lot of people say, should announcer, like last night, do they announce that a no-hitter is being pitched in Seattle, or do you not say anything? Well, the viewer needs to know.
I know this. If we could control what was happening in the field from the booth, the Twins wouldn't have lost 99 games last year.
Well, right now, the Twins wouldn't be 23-34. They would be 57-0.
2 strikes.
Diamond making his 7th start this year, his 14th career start.
And now 1-2. I guess in the American League through, 9 weeks of the season, you'd have to say that the two rookies among position players and pitchers who've had the greatest impact would be Mike Trout of the Angels and Scott Diamond of the Twins. Trout he's a key guy in the Angels' resurgence. And what's interesting is neither one of the players were with their teams at the start of the year. Excuse me, dribbler up the line, and Diamond turns and fires, makes a nice play, didn't panic, and got the out.
Yeah, very nice play. What you have to do is exactly what Diamond did, is barehand that ball. Get your glove out of the picture. And he went over there, and as he went to get the ball, he already was kind of working himself to make that spin and then throw it on the infield side as Justin is there to catch it. So a nice defensive play by the pitcher, Diamond, throwing the ball on the infield side to get the out. And on the play, Stewart going to second.
2 down, and here's Starlin Castro. Castro 0 for 2 in the ball game. I mentioned the Cubs have struggled this year against left-handed pitching, and they'll get another lefty tomorrow in Francisco Liriano. Check swing and a strike. And what we just saw from Diamond is a play that Liriano probably would not be able to make because of where he finishes in his delivery.
Well, he sets himself up ready, you can see, and then reacts going left or right. Liriano, of course, kind of goes towards shortstop or third base when he lets that ball go.
But Diamond finishes square to home plate and is able to react to balls like the one that Johnson hit. The dirt.
Well, I was always amazed at Bob Gibson. I've mentioned him earlier, how, his follow through, sometimes his back would be to the hitter. I mean, he really fell off toward first base, but he was such a great athlete, he could just react. He was like a cat out there. That's your responsibility as a pitcher, is almost 45-degree line toward the third base line and the first base line. That's the area that you want to cover throughout a ball game.
1-2. Diamond trying to complete the 5th inning without allowing a run here.
Castro taking a pitch, as you can see, inner half. But remember, he struck him out inside in his last at bat. See if he goes back in there again. He jammed him in his first at bat inside, then struck him out inside.
Tapper to third. Plouffe gets the first hop on target. And another scoreless inning for Scott Diamond.
Minnesota State Lottery Winner's Circle with Pete and Carol here. Dick and Bert made the trip from Rossholt, South Dakota, 230 miles away, celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. They got 6 kids, 7 grandkids, and they're here at Target Field celebrating. So to be a big Twins fan, what's this like for you in celebrating?
Oh, we just love the Twins. We plan our whole day, every day around the Twins. We just love coming here. And we get to see our children, and we come here to the game. We just really like it.
And you also get $100 in Minnesota State Lottery scratch-off tickets, so congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
There you go, Dick and Bert. A good day for them.
Yeah, thank you. Happy anniversary to you two lovebirds.
And Rossholt, South Dakota, right about where North and South Dakota and Minnesota meet, and about 15 minutes from where I grew up in Dumont, Minnesota.
You know, Dick, not only that couple right there, there's other couples celebrating their wedding anniversaries. 65th wedding anniversary for Matt and Dorothy McMahon here today, and Alan and Joan Lewison of White Bear Lake, they are celebrating their 53rd anniversary. So I know they probably might have brought Circle Me Bert signs. We wish we could circle everybody, but we just can't. But happy anniversary to all of you.
2-1 to Justin Morneau, leading off the Twins' fifth. 3-1. Morneau with a pair of singles, a pair of runs scored.
You know, talking about Casey Coleman, you know, his dad, and I remember Joe, he had a nasty split finger. He helped Brian Harvey control his split finger. It was a great reliever for the Angels.
And Morneau takes a walk.
Kind of an odd delivery right there by Casey Coleman.
If you're hitting the road, you can take the Twins with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv and see every Twins out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit twinsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Home territory blackout restrictions apply. Here's Ryan Doman. RBI double into the right field corner his last time up. Twins busted the game open with a 6-run fourth. And they've scored 8 runs here without a home run. Closest they've come to a home run would have been, I guess, Mauer's drive off the left field fence. Strike one. No question that the Twins are playing better baseball than they did in all of April, most of May. The hope is it can continue and that the Twins have just tightened things up across the board, starting pitching, fielding, particularly on the left side of the infield. Grounded to second. Barney to Castro to Baker, a double play. 2 down.
First double play turned by either club. As Doman grounds into a 4-6-3 double play.
What we saw for most of the first 2 months of the season was a lineup that tried to do everything individually. And I don't mean that in a selfish sense, but I think everybody was trying so hard to get that big hit, and you have some success, you win some ball games, everybody relaxes, and it's like, well, I'm going to do my best here, but if I don't, the guy behind me's got my back. There's a drive to deep left center field. Plouffe has another one. Four runs batted in. A pair of extra base hits, and Trevor Plouffe is on a roll.
I tell you what, I think what we're seeing from Trevor Plouffe over the last couple of weeks, a young man that's getting more and more confident. Not only at the plate, he's doing a good job defensively, but he's just having better quality at bats and not missing his pitches. That's a breaking ball. Waits back nicely and hitting it into the bullpen area here at Target Field. His 9th home run of the year.
With that home run hit by Trevor Plouffe, another $12,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can call 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org.
And remember, prostate cancer is for men what breast cancer is for women.
1 of 6 men will at some point in their lives be diagnosed with it. That's a rather frightening number. 2 strikes to Dozier. in reality, the Twins are getting from Plouffe at third base what they were hoping to get from Danny Valencia. And Valencia really struggling at Rochester, his average down in the 220 range. And so out of necessity, the Twins moving Plouffe around. We've seen him in the outfield, saw him at first base again the other day on the road. But he seems to have found a home both with the glove and with the bat at third base.
Well, there's that word again. I'm going to say opportunity. You know, when somebody fails, it opens the door for somebody else.
Soft line drive caught by Barney, and the inning is over, but it's another run scoring inning for the Twins thanks to the Plouffe home run.
We'll have some clouds and sunshine. Also a shower or thunderstorm. Mainly your best chance is the 5th inning on. It is going to be very warm. First pitch 85 and a little breezy with winds up to 25 miles per hour.
Otherwise, the type of day we imagined all those years. We were hoping for a new outdoor ballpark come summertime, and this is as good as it gets.
Yes, it is.
90 degrees. Of course, we're not sitting in the sun. But the Twins, and I'm not sure what the breakoff point is when it gets hot and humid like this. The Twins provide water for the fans, keep them hydrated. And the players, you know, we never had it at the Metrodome, didn't need it, of course. Diamond pitching to DeJesus to start the 6th inning. But the dugouts have coolers, the instant coolers that are positioned in the dugouts.
Yeah, what you need is Dan Quisenberry with a hose, just to hose everybody off like he used to do in Kansas City.
1 strike to DeJesus. But on a hot, muggy day when it is hot on the field, what you want is somebody on the mound who's throwing strikes, pitching aggressively, keeping the game moving. And again, that's Scott Diamond. That's what he does.
Like right now, he's on the mound. He's waiting for DeJesus to get into the box, not the hitter waiting for the pitcher to get ready.
75 pitches, 54 strikes. And 3 of them to start the 6th inning to DeJesus.
Yep, strikeout number 5 getting DeJesus for the 2nd time in the ball game.
We're back to AT&T trivia. Oh, we haven't had the question yet.
I haven't even guessed yet.
Who are the 3 second basemen to hit 30 home runs and steal 30 bases in a season?
Well, there's one of them right there when he was a second baseman of the Yankees.
Sandberg had
I was
some
going to
power.
say Sandberg might be one of them.
So Morgan stole bases. He wasn't really that much of a power hitter.
I know who it is.
Jeff Kent.
No. Kinsler.
Oh, there you go. That's
Ian
a good
Kinsler.
hit. And Soriano with a line drive single to center.
But you know, that's a high fastball right there. Sure looked like it was. and it kind of took some of the power away. Even though he hit that ball sharply, that ball was up in the strike zone, only a base hit. Take a look at the pitch right here. Watch the location. Just out over the plate, about belt high. Like I said, I'd still like to see elevate. Just see him inside it, up and in, see what happened. I mean, not in, but a strike inside.
Here's Jeff Baker. One of the issues the Cubs have, and again, they have many of them, is what to do at first base. They've got a great prospect in Des Moines, Anthony Rizzo, and the temptation I know they're facing is to get him up here and get him some major league experience and start the clock in terms of arbitration and all that with him. Now you say, well, Brian LaHare's leading the team in home runs, but almost all the damage he's done has been done against right-handed pitching. He's really had a tough time against lefties. LaHare's hitting 111, 3 hits in 27 at bats, and he struck out 15 times.
Well, he might be a guy that they may want to trade. LaHare last year hit 38 home runs in AAA and hit over 300, drove in over 100 runs. So, yeah, the Cubs are very strong at first base. Maybe they have to trade one of those couple guys and get some other players in here to fill some other spots.
You don't look at first base as being a platoon position. I mean, at some point, whether it's with the Cubs or with the Rangers, whomever, you've got to be able to hold your own against left-handed pitching in this case. And with 15 strikeouts, 27 at bats, just making contact seems to be an issue. 2-2. And so Baker gets a chance to play first base against lefties. We'll probably see him in the lineup again tomorrow with Liriano going.
Yeah, Baker in his 4th season with the Cubs, a career .265 hitter coming into this year. Originally signed by the Rockies.
Fly ball right center field, chased by Span. Top number 2. That'll bring up Joe Mather. If you act today, you can get a steal of a deal on the Sports Authority Value Pack when the Twins host the Phillies on Tuesday. For a limited time, you can get the deal on U.S. Bank home run porch tickets and get a Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi for just $19. The deal against the Phillies is available by logging on to twinsbaseball.com or by calling 800-33-TWINS. And there are some other ticket offers worth checking out here at Target Field as well.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to that. Baker just flew out right there. You have a kid like LaHare that hit 38 home runs, drove in 100 runs. Wouldn't you think the Cubs let him play every day? If he doesn't have success against lefties, you find out. But he hasn't had a lot of at bats against lefties. That's not a lot of at bats. 27 at bats, even though he has struck out 15 times. If you have a guy that has put up some great numbers, and you look at his minor league numbers, LaHare, they're very good power numbers. What the Cubs need is power. Let him play.
Mather grounds a single to left, 2 aboard with 2 out in the 6th.
The Cubs aren't going anywhere. They're rebuilding. They're looking, for the future. Well, you have some young, talented kids like LaHare. Let them play every day. Remember the Twins when Jock Jones first came up. Jock didn't get a lot of at-bats against lefties. Finally, I believe it was Tom Kelly gave him, said, this is, your right field, this is yours. Now it's yours. And all of a sudden, Jock started hitting lefties.
Here's Clevenger.
And Jock had a great career.
7 hits for the Cubs, nothing across the plate yet. Up and away, ball 1.
Sometimes players come up and they say, well, you can't hit against lefties, so you're not going to play. But you're not going anywhere as an organization. Get them out there. Get them their 500-600 at-bats and see what they can do.
And speaking of that, Randy Bush, who's here as assistant general manager for the Cubs, once told me he didn't know he couldn't hit left-handers until he was told when he came up here.
Right.
In the minor leagues, Randy Bush was an everyday player and then became kind of a platoon player when he got to the major leagues. We're going to have Randy over in our booth tomorrow during the telecast sometime. 2-1.
Yeah, Brian LaHare last year in Iowa, AAA, hit 38 home runs, drove in 109, hit .331. I'm sure there were some left-handed pitchers in that somewhere in there. The year prior, in 2010, he hit 25 home runs, drove in 81.
Ken Herbeck was not a platoon player. Lace to the shortstop. That ends the inning. Couple of hits. Diamond with 6 shutout innings. And the Twins comfortably in front. In the Coors Light freeze game.
The Twins had a big inning in the 4th inning when they scored 6 runs on 7 hits, highlighted by a ball that almost went off the bat of Joe Mauer. Look at how that ball just stuck right there. Now that's a freeze right there. Joe Mauer with an RBI double.
And they prosper a Coors Light freeze cam with the Twins in front 9-0. And Jamie Carroll will lead things off in the 6th. Diamond with a pitch count that would suggest he'll be given a chance to go out there for the 7th inning again.
89 pitches, 65 strikes.
Down and away, ball 1. Carroll, Span, and Revere in the Twins 6th. A couple of runs in the 2nd, 6 in the 4th, and another one in the 5th. Breaking ball wide, 2-0.
Yeah, Coleman, only 24 years old, signed by the Cubs in 2008 out of Florida Gulf Coast University, right down in Fort Myers, Florida.
And a strike. 2-1. Carroll with a strikeout and a walk and a run score. Three and 1.
Yeah, sweeping breaking ball by Coleman. Kind of a different delivery. Coleman at 6 foot tall, 185 pounds.
Carroll thrown out on the check swing number, 1-0. That'll bring up Denard's name.
Nice play by Clevenger right there to the catcher. You take charge right there. Pitcher coming in, it's easier for the catcher to get this ball because his momentum's already going there. See Carroll getting the check swing. Now Coleman going after it, and he's called off right there by the catcher. Nice play, barehanded, and then get the out at first base.
So on a 3-1 pitch, Carroll accidentally makes contact. He's retired. Here's Span, and he takes a strike at the knees. Span with an RBI double.
The Twins with 16 hits in last night's win over the Cubs in 10 innings, and 11 already on the board here this afternoon.
Just to be clear, we mentioned last night Span had the flu, and the thought was he might be hooked up to an IV and get a bag of fluids. He never did have that done. Felt much better as the day wore along, and that's why he's in the lineup today. Didn't want anybody picturing him, flat on his back in the trainer's room with his eyes rolling back in his head because of dehydration or anything. Foul away.
I didn't picture that at all until you mentioned it. Now I'm picturing it.
We'll dismiss it.
Not a pretty picture either.
No, it didn't happen. That's the whole point. It didn't happen. It's 3-2. Entered the game late as a pinch runner and was left in the on-deck circle. Three and two. And a chopper foul.
Yeah, Coleman moved to the bullpen mainly because of the last 2 years as a starter with the Cubs. Combined 25 starts he made for the Cubs. He had a record of 7 wins, 11 losses, but the ERA at 5.5. So instead of starting, the Cubs hope that he'll have success as a long man out of that bullpen.
And tap foul again. And Span with a good at bat, slapping a single down the left field line. And we'll be content with that. A 1-out single, his second hit of the ball game.
Tell you what, I'm impressed with Reed Johnson out in left field. He has made some nice plays. A lot of times this ball we'll see Span, round the bag and maybe go for 2, but Johnson hustling out there. And he kept Joe Mauer to a single to start the 4th inning when the Twins erupted for 6 runs. And right here, Johnson hustling down that line, getting behind that ball and getting it back in quickly. So keeping Span to just a single.
Here's Revere, an infield hit in the 6-run 4th inning. Ball 1.
I like to see that only because, you know what, when you're with the Cubs and, they haven't played very well this year. They're 19-39 coming in here. What you don't want is your veterans to all of a sudden be lackadaisical. And Johnson, one of the veterans on this ball club. So you lead by example, and he has shown very good hustle. He already has 4 hits in the first 2 games of this series. But some good defensive plays.
1-1. Two and 1. Three and 1. Mauer on deck. He's got a couple of hits today. Foul back. Bluefan has a couple of hits today. Borno with a couple of hits.
Well, Diamond's had plenty of run support. As you can see, he's getting ready for the next inning. But you know what he's been able to do is get his troops back out on that field, play defense behind him, and then get them right back in right away.
Not much time on the broiling pan today for the Twins fielders. That's good. And Revere drives one toward the right field corner. Span around second. Will head to third. Revere with his second hit. And now he's got a pair of hits today.
After a 3-hit night last night, Revere with 5 hits now in the series.
Also lined out to Mather in the 3rd inning. So he's doing his part here, trying to put the ball in play, slap it around the field.
Good hitting right there. That breaking ball, down and in, and Revere just hitting it sharply in the right.
Trip to the mound by Chris Bosio. Cubs don't have any activity in their bullpen.
Well, you know what we talked about earlier, Dick, about the Twins. They've won 8 out of the last 10 ball games against Cleveland, Kansas City, Oakland. They swept the A's before they went on that road trip, and now Chicago. You want to get back in the race. These are the teams the Twins have to, win series against, and doing a good job with that.
Rasmussen College is proud to present Student Days every Wednesday at Target Field. Students can attend the Twins-Phillies game Wednesday and get a standing room only ticket for just $8. Student Day tickets are available beginning at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, day of the game. And there's a limit of 1 ticket per student with a valid ID. For more information, visit twinsbaseball.com or go to 833-TWINS on your phone. Here's Mauer. Solid hits, a single and a double to left field in his last 2 at-bats. Ball 1. No one throwing in the Cub bullpen. Somebody's out there trying to stretch out the arm a little bit. Cubs are hoping that Coleman can get through this inning. There's a strike, 1-1. Fastball that clips the corner.
Yeah, I'll give you different angles. I'm watching Coleman. You know, he has that awkward delivery out of the windup, but this stretch, he'll go side, kind of sidearm. This one's straight over the top. Good location.
Two and two. Third hit for Mauer, and another Twins run. Span comes in from third. 10-0.
Mauer picking up his second RBI of the ball game. Now with 27 on the season. And another reason why Joe Mauer is so important to this offense. You know he's going to hit over 300. You hope he drives in about 80 or 90 runs in a year.
I started to talk about this lineup as it's presently constructed, and this would be the preferred lineup, I think, for Ron Gardenhire in most games. If he could run these 9 guys out there. Look at the top end of this lineup. Span, we expect to hit 300. Revere has hit 300. Mauer's a 3-time batting champion, a career average of 321. Willingham with power, Morneau with power, Domet with power, and now Plouffe with power. I mean, the first 7 spots look really, really good right now.
And again, it all keys off to me the first 2 hitters, Span and Revere. They get on, they make things happen. The pitcher has to start thinking about them because they might steal a base. All of a sudden, you leave a cookie up to Mauer or Willingham or no. Then behind them, you have Ryan Domet. Now you got, hot hitting Trevor Plouffe. Very nice. Brian Dozier's got some big hits already in the first 2 ball games here. Some 2 good out hitting. And we all know Jamie Carroll, very consistent. He's played in 56 of the 57 games played so far. Now 57 of the 58.
Willingham got a breaking ball on 2-0 and swung and missed.
I like Revere in that number 2 spot because, if Span's not able to get on, there's all of a sudden Revere gets on. He can steal a base, get in the scoring position.
Another hit for the Twins. Revere will get waved around third, and he'll come in. 4 straight singles and a couple of runs the Twins hope they won't need.
Willingham getting his second hit of the ball game, driving in his 41st run of the year. As Span scores, Revere scores for the first time in a ball game.
Morneau with 2 singles, a 2-run score.
He just fought off that pitch middle in and hit it softly into center field. Revere getting a good jump and scoring.
Morneau's reached all 3 times with 2 hits and a walk. Up and away, ball 1. And another torturously long inning for the Cubs. Twins sent 11 men to the plate in the 4th. And now Morneau, the 6th batter this inning, still only 1 out. Two and 0.
Well, you don't like to see a team get beat up, but you know what? They're going to lay pitches in there for you to hit. You hit.
Garza looking on. He won't pitch in this series. See what Morneau gets here on 2-0 and what he does with it. 3-0. Doman on deck. Well, Coleman looks like he's pretty much out of gas right now. He's had a tough time facing the batters here in the 6th inning. Remember, the out that he got was on Jamie Carroll's check swing dribbler between the mound and the plate. Morneau takes 4, and the bases are loaded. The Cubs have got to make a move to go get him here, I would think.
Coleman walking his second batter in relief.
So 2 runs have scored. The bases are loaded, 1 out, and the Cubs will make a pitching change here, with the Twins pushing the lead out to 11-0. And Asensio, who pitched last night, will come in, with the Twins enjoying this game a whole lot more than the Cubs.
King of beers, Budweiser. And on Sunday, a special treat for the first 5,000 fans. That's tomorrow, 14 and under, that come to the game. They'll receive a Joe Mauer jersey courtesy of U.S. Bank. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com to check on ticket availability, and we'll see you here at Target Field tomorrow.
Jairo Asensio comes into the ball game for the 4th time. The Cubs got him on waivers from the Indians, and he'll come into a tough spot here. The game's already 11-0, but the Twins have the bases loaded with 1 out, and Doman at the plate.
As you mentioned, Asensio worked in last night's ball game. He worked 2/3 of an inning through 13 pitches, 8 for strikes.
Ball 1. We were told that the Cubs had some major bullpen issues, and that has certainly turned out to be the case. High fly to center. And Mather will make the catch. No one will advance. So 2 away, and that brings Plouffe up with the bases loaded. And in his last at bat, he provided our Coors Light cold hard blast.
And he's on fire. Trevor Plouffe in the 5th inning. A solo home run. A breaking ball from Casey Coleman for his 9th home run of the year. Our Coors Light cold blast.
So he's driven in 4 runs in the game already. If he hits one out here, he'll tie the club record for RBIs in a game, held by Glenn Adams and Randy Bush. 1-0. Now Randy Bush got his 8 RBIs, and he hit a 3-run home run in his last at bat to tie the record against a position player, Jeff Kunkel.
Oh, yeah, I remember Kunkel.
And the son of an umpire. And you wonder if where the Cubs are at right now, whether this might not be one of those games for them.
There's Bushy hiding behind the screen right there. Let's circle him. There you go, Randy Bush. You were hereby circled. And Trevor Plouffe, you were hereby circled.
1-1. One and two. You know, the Twins had one of these ball games earlier against Milwaukee. Drew Butera was asked to pitch. And the Cubs, who kind of went through their bullpen last night already, went to their bullpen today in the 4th inning. It's a blowout game. And it's on the road. You don't like to ever do it, but you really don't want to do it at home. 1-2 to Plouffe. Bouncer to second. That'll end the inning. Another good one for the Twins. Yeah, they leave the bases full, but they add on 2 more. It's 11-0.
Nothing lead going into the bottom of the 4th inning, and then the Twins exploded for 7 hits. They scored 6 runs, and everybody contributing in that inning for that nice inning. And on the mound, it was Diamond. He did his thing throughout 6 shutout innings for Scott Diamond, and he is out of the ball game. Scott Diamond, another performance, his 4th in 7 starts, where he has allowed no runs in an outing. So Scott Diamond ends at 6 innings through 89 pitches, 64 for strikes. Jeff Gray coming into the ball game, making his 24th relief appearance. A bullpen that has been pitching outstanding.
The Twins want Gray to do is throw strikes, pitch aggressively, and that frustrating ball game the other night in Kansas City, where they had what they thought was a comfortable lead, and Gray had a difficult time of it in the 9th inning. See Chris Parmalee in at first base. Darren Mastroianni in left. And the Twins had to go bring Matt Capps into the ball game to pick up the save when the inning started with a 5-run inning. Here's an opportunity for Gray to make amends for that. Who knows, may even get an opportunity for a 3-inning save here. 1 strike and a base hit. So Barney gets his 2nd hit. Time now for the CenturyLink high-speed pitch.
Well, we were talking about Diamond. Diamond clocked at 92. Samardzija at 98. Jeff Samardzija worked the first 3 2/3 innings, gave up 9 hits, 8 runs, all earned. Casey Coleman, an inning and 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned.
Ian Stewart, the batter, a single and a strikeout today.
Now, Scott Diamond now has worked 45 innings in his 7 starts. And he has only 4 walks, one of those intentional. So another key to his success. Stays out of those big innings. 5 strikeouts here this afternoon. Talking to P.J. Walters right there.
Runner goes, Twins don't care, pitch, tap, foul. You can survive giving up more hits than innings pitched if you don't walk people. And that's pretty much Diamond's game. One of the more contemporary stats now is whip, walks and hits per innings pitched. And anything right around 1 is good, very good actually. And Diamond will give up more than a hit per inning pitch, but he doesn't compound matters by walking people.
Well, I go to Brad Radke. Brad Radke was that type of pitcher. You know, he would give up hits, 2 hits an inning, but he didn't walk anybody. He worked his way out of it.
Well, again today, for me at least, Scott Diamond was fun to watch. 1 and 2. Ooh. Backstop, and to second base goes Barney.
Well, a wild pitch will be charged to Jeff Gray. His 4th wild pitch of the year.
It was the opening game of the Kansas City series, and the Twins opened up the 9th inning with a 10-5 lead. Gray's job was to simply just get the Twins off the field, get the 3 outs, and let's go cool off. But Gray really struggled to the point where Capps not only had to be warmed up, but with the tying run in the on-deck circle, Capps was brought in, pitched to 1 batter. 3 pitches later, the game was over, and Capps had a save.
Yeah, we don't want Capps to get a save in this ball game.
Breaking ball misses, 3 and 2.
Gray has worked 22 and a third innings coming into this outing, and he's walked 11 with 15 strikeouts. Make him swing the bat right here. No free passes.
And a chopper. Gray will look at the runner and get the out at first. It's a 1 away. If you ever wonder what the Twins bullpen catcher does, Tyler Mason caught up with Nate Dahman to find out. Read Tyler's story now at foxsportsnorth.com.
He's probably sleeping out there right now. No, just kidding. Those guys work hard out there. Nate does a great job. Travels with the team. Always out in that bullpen helping Rich Delmasic. The bullpen coach forever.
Stelly, a Twins coach going back to the Metropolitan Stadium days. Ball 1, 1-0. And a strike.
Yeah, good slider right there.
Tigers have an early lead over the Reds, 1-0. Reds won on a squeeze play in 10 innings last night. White Sox are scoreless with the Astros in the second. White Sox look like they're going to be without Brent Morrell. They were hoping he'd come back from his back injury, but he had a little bit of a setback. So now the White Sox might be faced with the prospect of having Orlando Hudson play even more at third base. Bouncer to third. Nice pickup by Plouffe. And over to Parmalee, a run scores, 2 down.
You know, we saw that same play yesterday where Ian Stewart tried to almost, throw his glove at it, where that's a nice little play by Trevor Plouffe. Now the Cubs put a run on the board. Reed gets an RBI, his 11th of the year. But watch this little short hop right here. Plouffe getting it, and then making sure he throws a good strike over to Parmalee for the second out. Open glove as Barney scores, but the out is recorded.
Here's the pinch hitter, Adrian Cardenas. Cardenas in for Castro. 5 hits on the year for Cardenas, and they've all been doubles.
Cardenas getting called up on May 7th. He was claimed off waivers from by the Cubs from the Oakland A organization over the winter.
2-0. And a strike.
Cardenas a shortstop, which he is.
Yeah.
So Leo Cardenas, a teammate of mine back in the early 70s, was a Twins shortstop. And a good one.
And I've been told, one of the more curious characters to ever
Yes,
put
he
on a
was.
Twins
Yes, he
uniform.
was. He lockered right next to me.
Really?
Yes, he did. He was into voodoo and stuff like that. Ooh, I didn't want to touch him. He had dolls in his locker and everything
Really?
with pins.
Like
yeah.
the character from Major League.
Yeah.
Really?
Serrano, yeah.
2-2.
Yeah, we have time right now. He would lay down a towel before the ball game and put his glove there. He'd take a bat and just pound his bat over and over with the glove, so his glove was almost like a pancake. So when he went out there, he had no pocket. It would just be flat, and he would catch the ball that way. He was a great shortstop, but that would be part of his pre-game ritual.
And you never tried that, not even once?
No, I stayed away. I went in the training room.
1 run for the Cubs against Jeff Gray. Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Right now, you can get 20 crispy chicken McNuggets for just $4.99 at McDonald's. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Beautiful day at Target Field. A great-looking scoreboard. 11-1. The Twins comfortably in front after winning a nail-biter last night. Hoping to win this ball game, which would mean they won the series, which means it would be the 4th straight series win for the Twins and their 5th straight win at home.
And that's how you get back to 500 slowly, winning series. They win today, they're 24-39, now 10 games under 500.
Brian Dozier at the plate. He'll be followed by Jamie Carroll against the new Chicago pitcher. I guess Asensio's still out there.
Yeah, Asensio slipping on that pitch right there.
So, ball 1. And now ball 2.
Hill, now the new catcher, Clevenger, who was behind the plate, moves to first base. And then Baker going to right field. the first baseman. Also some other changes, and we'll get to those in a minute.
It's almost like it's March night.
Yeah.
Toward the hole. And a good play with Cartness. Nope, it's Barney who's out short. So Barney makes the play.
So Barney went from second base to short as he backhands his play, sets, and a little low throw, but picked up right there by Clevenger.
One away, here's Jamie Carroll. Ball one. For Carroll to get a hit here, he's been on his batting average has been on a steady climb. Starting the day at 242. And if you think by season's end, Carroll going to finish in the 270, 280 range. Kind of look for his season individually to progress like the Twins season. He got off to a slow start and gradually, as you say, winning series. It would be nice, as the Twins did in 1991, to win 15 in a row. It's not realistic, but if you do win series regularly instead of losing them, as the Twins did, you can make up the ground. And I don't think this division is as tough as people thought it was going to be. Everyone thought by now the Tigers would be up by 7 or 8 games, and that hasn't happened.
Yeah, it hasn't happened. So, you know, you take advantage of what you have and what you're going to hopefully get. And Carroll right there drawing a walk, his second walk of the ball game. And go back to Jamie Carroll. Yeah, his average is low right now, but this guy's a 278 career hitter over his first 10 seasons at the major league level. He had 290 last year for the Dodgers.
All right, Cardenas is at second. Barney moved over to short, just made a play. Baker's now in right field. And a new catcher, Hill. And I believe I'm all set on mine.
I think I am too.
2-0. Span 2 for 4 in his return to the lineup. Three and 0. Three and 1. Revere on deck. And now 3 and 2.
Now with the game 11-1 in the 7th inning, this is where it's kind of station to station, unless it's an extra base hit where, Carroll, nobody's holding him on. Clevenger laying behind him. Probably will not be going, which he does not.
He's trying to do some quick math, which is
let me help you.
I've got the first 5 hitters for the Twins: Span, Revere, Mauer, Willingham, and Morneau. 11 for 18 here today with 2 walks. And that's after a 1-2-3 first inning.
Ding, 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 and both those walks to Justin.
Pop fly to short center. And Barney makes the catch. 2 away. That's not good.
No, that's
Either
not.
the hits, the earned runs, or the walks. And for that matter, the 7 1/3 innings probably isn't a good number either. See, Dale Swaim and
taking advantage of the Cubs' inability to finish off games. And then they get a short start from Samardzija today, and the problem mushrooms. Revere with 2 hits, the average up to .333.
Well, you know, Theo Epstein came over from the Boston Red Sox organization, and you know what he was able to do in Boston. You know, kind of Boston won the World Series in 2004 and 7. You know, they're hoping that, you know, he can work his magic here in Chicago. He probably has a lot more elements to fill here in Chicago than he did in Boston.
Right. Bounce to short. And I say that the first baseman Clevenger kept his foot on the bag, and that ends the 7th inning.
And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
I thought that was read very professionally. Regardless, you got to read it the same, regardless of what the score is. If it's a 1-run, white knuckler, or an 11-1 Twins lead.
Yeah, I'm going to give this to Ron Coomer. I know he's having a tough time going through this. He's got to be a little more aggressive with his dissemination.
Well, now, Drew Butera's behind the plate now for the Twins. Before we get too comfortable with you sitting in the chair, you're taking more time off next weekend, right? Going to Cooperstown.
I'm going to Cooperstown for Father's Day weekend, yes. It's a nice honor. Roy Smalley, I believe, will be filling this chair.
Hill leading off the 8th inning, getting a base hit against Jeff Gray.
Yeah, they did just some switching around in the lineup. Dale Schwain did. And Hill, in his 6th season with the Cubs, gets a base hit.
We may have gotten all 3 of them. Soriano, Brandon Phillips we did not get.
We got Kinsler.
So we have a bonus correct answer. Strike 1. Some people think that the Cubs will use this opportunity here in an American League ballpark to put Soriano in the DH spot and showcase him for what they hope will be a future trade. He's teed off again, and he's hit a home run. He's hit now 12 home runs in the last 24 ball games. None before that. He went 6 weeks before he hit his first, and now he's hit a dozen.
Home run number 12 on the year for Soriano. And a fastball. You can see the location. Butera wanted it inside. With that uppercut swing, Soriano makes it an 11-3 game.
Here's Baker taking down and in, ball one. Baker with a single and 3 trips. One and one. Popped up, back and out of play. So you think Roy Smalley's going to be filling in for you when you're gone next weekend?
I believe so.
All right, well, Father's Day at Cooperstown. Now, what's all that going to entail?
Well, it's a baseball game. It's a fundraiser to raise money for kids, where we'll be playing. I believe there's 7 or 8 Hall of Famers coming, and then former players coming. We play a 7-inning ball game or 2 hours, whatever comes first, and we'll raise money.
I got my money on the 2 hours, but one down. The home run hit by Alfonso Soriano, another $12,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. To make a donation, call 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org.
Boy, and this year an estimated 242,000 American men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. This is one case in every 2.1 minutes.
Lifted to left center. Mastroianni's there. And that's out number 2. You mentioned that Gray would have a possibility for a 3-inning save, although the Twins have, I believe, Jeff Manship warming up out in the bullpen. It's a different type of a save in a game like this. You're not saving the game so much as you're saving your bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see Ron Gardenhire rarely, if ever, has had a pitcher pick up one of those 3-inning saves. Basically, Gray, if he completed the ball game here and gave up 8 or 9 runs, he still would get a 3-inning save because he finished the ball game.
Yeah, a lot of it too. You know, I mean, it's a pitch count too. 26 pitches so far, and usually, you know, I mean, Gardy. One thing I think the bullpen is so consistent is because I think Rick Anderson, Rich Stelmasic, Gardy, they do a good job of making sure when these guys come into a ball game that they haven't been up 2 or 3 times out in that bullpen.
Fox Tracks brought to you by Carrier. Bounce to short, and it looks like Gray will be able to complete 2 innings at least, and we'll wait and see if he gets a chance for that 3rd inning of work.
The Cubs as they're well on their way to their 4th consecutive series win. We've got our post-game coverage that continues with Twins Live presented by CenturyLink, and we're going to talk about the offense exploding in that 4th inning. Twins go for 6 runs on 7 hits in that 4th inning. We'll get Ron Gardenhire and his post-game reaction to today's offensive onslaught and the instructional with all of our experts, Bert Blylev and Ron Coomer, the two that are going to take charge of it today, and they're going to discuss fielding third base, and in particular Trevor Plouffe and the job that he has done, the good job that he has done fielding third base. So those guys will take us through the fundamentals of that with our former third baseman Ron Coomer, all after the game. Dick.
All right, very good. Thank you, Robbie. Drew Butera will hit the Twins' 8th inning. And he takes down and away ball 1. Manuel Corpus, former Rocky pitcher, pitching now for the Cubs. Butera, Mastroianni, and Parmalee will hit to pop up toward first, one down. And our Jimmy John's delivery from the Twins starting pitcher.
Well, another outstanding performance by Scott Diamond. 6 shutout innings. Twins win here today. He'll go to 5-3, and the Twins have won 6 of the 7 starts that he has started this year since getting called up from Rochester. And with the 6 shutout innings, he lowered his ERA at 1.61 in 7 starts.
Ball 1.
Corpus, 29 years old, in his first season with the Cubs. Missed all of last year due to Tommy John surgery.
2-0. And another base hit. Mastroianni getting some playing time and hitting some balls very hard. A 1-out single here in the 8th.
Mastroianni, who had a couple hits in yesterday's ball game, last night's ball game, his first extra base hit at the major league level, which was a triple. In his first at bat, lines it into left center. Twins get their 16th hit of the ball game, matching what they were able to put on the board last night. 16 hits.
Parmalee lifts the first pitch to left field. Johnson with the catch, out number 2. Don't know whether we can explain it. Don't know whether we should even try. Let's just hope that it continues through the next 2 weeks for the Twins. The interleague success for Ron Gardenhire.
Yeah, you know what? It seems like over the years we've seen the Twins through interleague play always try to. They get a little bit better, you know, and then they hopefully will carry that in once interleague's done. But a lot of success in interleague play for the Twins.
Twins played well through interleague play last year. And into the All-Star break, they had a lot of momentum, and then things just kind of fell apart right after the All-Star break. So
I go back to, it was 2002, I remember right after the All-Star break, they went to Milwaukee. Right around that time, and they swept the Brewers, and they just took off from there in interleague play.
Yeah, that's what someone said a few years ago, where the team, I think in 2002, that was kind of a wire-to-wire thing. They got off to a good start, but I think you're right. The next year, and then everybody got together. They had a team meeting in Milwaukee, kind of cleared the air and said, "Okay, we're going to push forward for the final 110 games or whatever." And I remember one year the Twins were limping into the break. They just couldn't do anything right. And I think that was 2004, and they got Shannon Stewart at the All-Star break. That kind of turned that season around.
Yeah, breaking ball, outer half of the plate, called a strike.
Way out in front, 2-2.
Corpus, 29 years old, from Panama. Signed by the Rockies as a free agent back in 1999.
The end of the bat, a one-hopper that came up on Cardenas. He makes the play. The Twins are done in the 8th. And there's a fervent hope the Twins won't be hitting in the bottom of the 9th.
Let's take a look at the game reset. Trevor Plouffe, another good day at the plate. 2 for 4, hitting his 9th home run, also a double. He's driven in 4 of the 11 runs the Twins have been able to put on the board. And again, we saw Soriano hit a home run. He hit 2 of them in last night's ball game, and delivering another one here this afternoon. Jeff Manship will hit the top of the 9th inning, making his 3rd appearance. He was just recalled from Rochester on May 27th. And it's good to see Manship as he turns around. We can see his name. It's spelled right.
Jeff in Kansas City came into the ball game and had a road jersey that had his last name misspelled. They had the right letters, just not in the right order. I don't know why everybody made such a big deal about that. Fouled away into the seats. The misspelling was MANSIHP. Two and one.
Well, Manship, 27 years old, in his 4th season now with the Twins, up and down. Signed by the Twins out of Notre Dame back in 2006. I'm sure he talked to the Cubs starter.
Wonder whether they overlapped at all there. 2 and 2. And it's 3 and 2. So no 3-inning save for Jeff Gray. Twins getting Manship an inning's worth of work here.
I bet they did overlap because I'm sure Manship went there because they were both drafted and signed in 2006. Oh, good pitch.
Called 3rd strike. Barney thought it was a walk, thought the pitch was outside. Paul Emmel says, I've been behind the plate for 3 hours. That's enough.
A pretty good pitch. It looked like from here, but I was a former pitcher. But yeah, look at that. Caught the corner, saw the black. You know, when a catcher sits a foot outside and you hit the glove, it should be a strike in an 11-3 ball game.
So you'd advocate having, but every game about an hour and 50 minutes, right?
Oh,
just
amen.
expand the strike zone.
Well, you got to realize, you know, fans only see the plate as far as, you know, the color of the plate. The plate actually has a black little piece around it.
But that's not part of the.
Yes, it is. Part of the.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not part of the strike
Why do they
zone.
always say you want to hit the black? Okay, that pitcher wants to throw that ball on the black edge of the plate. Well, that's the black. That's the little piece of rubber.
If that was part of the strike zone, it'd be painted white.
Well, I'm telling you, the plate has black on it. You can see right in this corner, right in there and right there. Those are black edges. That's part of the plate.
That's part of the structure of the plate. That has nothing to do with the strike zone.
That's the strike zone. Come on.
Here's Reed Johnson.
All you want is the black. Give me the black. Like that. That's a see. Good pitch.
Johnson with a couple of hits early in the ball game. And off the plate. Off the black.
Okay, yeah.
Outside.
That was a bit outside.
It was a ball.
But it was strike 3 to Barney. Come on. Look at that. Same pitch.
Barney is a less experienced player than Reed Johnson. Fouled away. 1 and 2. Well, here's what happened in Kansas City. And MANSIHP. And they had to show him yesterday. Steve Little rubbing it in a little bit.
You know what? Jeff didn't mind.
To short. Out there. Safe at first. Carroll with a bit of a glare at Ian Stewart. I don't know what happened there. I was following the flight of the ball, but Carroll appeared to have an angry look at the Cub runner at second base.
I don't care what the score is, you still play the game the right way, and that's slide in hard. Let's take a look right here what happens. Carroll getting the feed from Dozier, and then Stewart looked like he slid straight into the bag.
Feet first. It wasn't a rolling block or anything like that.
Well, I'm going to go back to Johnson right there. You know, in an 11-3 ball game, he hits a ground ball to short. You think it might be a double play, but he hustles down that line to stay out of the double play.
Side of ball. I didn't see anything wrong, and maybe Carroll was just offering a pleasantry to Stewart. I have no idea. Just they engaged in some sort of exchange.
Well,
1-1.
He probably said, you know, hey, have a good day and better luck on Monday. Not tomorrow, but Monday.
Get your filet butterfly tonight at dinner. Well, a good win, a convincing win for the Twins. They've won now their 4th series in a row, their 5th straight home game. A couple of them have been dramatic with Willingham walk-offs with 2 home runs hit in today's game. A total of $24,000 has been raised in the game for prostate cancer research. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can call 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org. Fun day in the sun, Marty Geller, for the Twins and their lineup and their pitcher. And the Twins have already taken care of business in winning this series this afternoon.
Pretty good combination, Dick, when the bats are going and you have good starting pitching. We'll look at what the Twins did today with 16 hits for the 2nd straight game.